Hi guys, VST here, Tech. Welcome to the channel. What you can see on the left hand side on the screen is the Galaxy S22 Ultra video 4K 60 FPS in very dark conditions and without using the latest Auto FPS function. The Auto FPS function is there to optimize the frame rate and try to capture more detail and more light in the shot. So this is what the footage looks like without the Auto FPS option, and I will now very soon pop up the video on the right hand side of the screen where this option is going to be added. This is now a video 4K 60 FPS with the Auto FPS option turned in. As I speak, I'm also entering a very dark and dim area, and it's very interesting to see the comparison. Okay, 4K 60 FPS, Auto FPS option is turned on. What it practically does, guys, when the phone will struggle to process and when the light conditions are poor, it will reduce the frame rate. I guess trying to go for a different exposure and trying to capture more light. Okay, it's going to be interesting to see the comparison. 4K 60 FPS video without the Auto FPS, which will mean that the frame rate should stay stable at 60 FPS, but it does also mean that your phone will not capture the perfect light, and yeah, it's hard to capture something that is almost not there, and that's why I'm gonna do the very same video but with the Auto FPS option turned on, and then we'll check with media info the properties of the file type and exactly what happens with the frame rate. This right now is the 4K 60 FPS video with the Auto FPS option turned on. Auto frames per second. Again, the idea really is that the phone will eventually slow down, reduce the number of frames per second, but in exchange of this, it is supposed to capture more light. And as you compare both videos, you let me know in the comments, what do you think was better? Was this promise that was made by Samsung real, or it was another gimmicky thing? My second test, 4K 60 FPS video, again in a dark environment but with some artificial light. The Auto FPS option now has been turned off, and it will be very nice to see and compare if there are any advantages also in this scenario. So I'm going to gradually walk probably 50 meters and just turn left and turn right, and then I'm gonna do the same, guys, but with the Auto FPS, and I'm gonna play both videos for you and we'll together compare if there are any meaningful benefits when the Auto FPS option is used in scenarios where, let's say, there is some artificial light but also very dark and dim scenarios. This now is my Auto FPS on video. Again, it's 40K 60 FPS, guys, and I promise I'm gonna turn around to the left where we have a bit of a darker areas, and also going just straight forward where we have these artificial light sources. And guys, let me know what you think down below. I will be playing both videos for you right at the same time. So right hand side Auto FPS is on and left hand side Auto FPS is off, and let me know, guys, what you think really is better. Whole question and point of doing this video is to just understand if that's a real option or it is another of these fancy gimmicks. I really have a nice feeling about this, but let me know down below in the comments. It's time to do the same test but with the front camera. I'm now using again 4K 60 FPS on the front camera of my Samsung, but the Auto FPS option is just turned off. And currently on the viewfinder I almost cannot see anything, cannot recognize anything, so I'm really thrilled to see if the front camera is going to be able to capture more light with the Auto FPS option turned on. So let's compare both. Auto FPS option turned on, again 4K 60 FPS, and what I can just see in the viewfinder is really a drastic change, guys. I can just see something that resembles a face, my face, and yeah, definitely it looks like more light has been captured, and I'm not seeing drops in the frame rate, which means that still the footage should be okay. Of course, it's never going to be perfect. The environment front camera, but the face is there, and it seems that the Auto FPS option is doing a good job overall. Now it's time to check the data from all of those files, the ones that have been recorded with the Auto FPS on and the ones recorded with the Auto FPS off. The first example right now is recorded without the Auto FPS. What we can see here, guys, the FPS of this video is 60 FPS, which is okay because I was using UHD 60 FPS, and this can be also seen here in the output side. So this is the UHD or 4K resolution. I will now play the video so we can just check the actual FPS. Very good, stable FPS, 60 even a bit above, but the whole idea is when Auto FPS is not used, right, no matter of the condition, light or no light, it is stable 60 FPS. Okay, this is the sample rate and this is the bit rate. This is really what I was expecting. Now I'll do the same but with the file shot with Auto FPS on. As we can see by this video, it's clearly the one with the Auto FPS on, and on my PC it's a bit choppy. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So the FPS of this video is 24 FPS, and I'm just seeing right now as I'm playing it, the actual FPS, yeah, it is 23, 24. It doesn't really go beyond that, right? And now we can clearly say that even the fact that I was using UHD or 4K 60 FPS, the Auto FPS function reduced my frame rate almost double, right? In the exchange, of course, to get a better lighting, right? But it's very important, and this is why I'm doing this test. So the actual frame rate of the video is 24 FPS, the bit rate about the same, sample rate about the same, okay? And now, guys, I'm gonna check one other video. Let's open the next one. This one again is shot without the Auto FPS, right? 60 FPS. I'm just gonna play the video to check the actual FPS. So actual FPS, yeah, no surprises there. 60 FPS, actual FPS, 60 FPS, bitrate is there, sample rate is there. It is pretty much what we have expected. This now is the same video. Oh, again, 24 FPS. Let me just try to play the video so that we can capture the actual FPS is also 23, 24 FPS. I think also, yeah, bitrate. Okay, I thought it was a low bitrate, but no, the bitrate is still the same. Sample rate of the sound is there. That's the audio info and the video info. But we can clearly see that although I was shooting 4K 60 FPS, the frame rate is now 24 FPS. Again, the exchange for that is just getting more light into your video. Now let's check the front camera. Again, I was using UHD or 4K 60 FPS. Yes, that's the one without the Auto FPS. So Auto FPS switched off for this video. 60 FPS. I'm gonna play the video so that we can check the actual FPS. Again, that's the front camera, same conditions, UHD or 4K 60 FPS. The actual FPS is indeed 60 FPS. Let's now open the front camera video, but with the Auto FPS set to on. And this is the video from the front camera. I already have a suspicion of what we're gonna see, but let me just see if I'm right, and I think I am. 24 FPS. I'm just gonna play the video and just try to see the actual FPS. Again, 23, 24 FPS. Bitrate about the same. Okay, audio not really manipulated. And I think, guys, it's safe to assume that when you use the Auto FPS option, right, at least in conditions that I had, you'll just get a significant reducement in terms of frames per second. Again, you're gonna win a bit more well-lit videos. So if that's really a good result, then I think we need to accept it. The best thing about this, it's only an option, guys. So if you want to have your videos like this, you know, with a steady frame rate, but yeah, not really capturing all the details, we can just turn Auto FPS off and then you get a steady frame rate. But if you want to capture all the details, then you'll need to sacrifice that frame rate, and although you're going to be using 60 FPS UHD, you'll get 24 FPS, which probably still should do the job. Again, the best thing for me is that Samsung did it there, and it's really an option, so you can just decide to use it or not use it. And guys, before we close this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel, guys. I've put some efforts into this. I really hope you guys appreciate this and that you like things like this. Don't forget to check also my other videos. I did a comparison on the S21 Ultra screen to the S22 Ultra screen, also refresh rate, vibration, speaker test, throttling, benchmarks. You say it, I'll have it. Guys, please, you and your family stay safe, and yeah, we're gonna meet in one of my next videos. VST over and bye.